tights, two tights.
Let's go. What? 90.
They'll try to run for the first time with Freeman. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Watson now to throw. Man open right side. It's the tight end, Clay. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Got double tight.
Come on, let's go.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. Freeman with a fast feet. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Well, when you're able to break a run against a cover 2 or a 2-deep zone, safeties are back a little ways. What you're counting on is the guys taking care of business up front and then maybe climbing to the second level, that offensive lineman or tight end getting up to the second level and able to block the safety in order to create a big run.
Now making those linemen work with a couple blocks. They look good doing it there. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, yeah.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
I can't help it. I'm just sitting back in admiration right now. This defense tells everyone that plays against them, you're not beating us running the football. That's who we are. That's what we're about. It's not going to happen. If you're going to beat us, you better pick another way.
Back to throw, Watson. Flush to his right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Nigel Bradham able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So they come into enemy territory. Nice drive to start the game, but they probably wanted 6. They only got 3.
I agree with you totally. That's the expectation. When you get the ball and you start moving it and you're rolling, you think you're going to end up in the end zone. But they should be happy with the 3. A good way to get things going here in this game.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
We got 3.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Single.
Tag 50, tag 50. Set.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howell. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And a great spot to start this drive from here.
Let's go.
51,
What? 90.
51.
A handoff. Devontae Freeman. And some room to work. And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Watch tight end. Hey,
Here we
go. 4 down.
Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Watch tight end. Tight right.
Come on, let's go. Red 38.
Alert.
Here's Watson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, you better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on... Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
But when it all comes together and you get the field goal block that's been designed, that's been drawn up, everyone has to feel good about it on that side of the ball. How about that one there? To the left side, knew what they had. That's where they wanted to be, and they got their designated guy turned free.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Hey, tag 50 left.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Forced out to his left. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it's 3rd and short. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way. I think we're seeing an example of it here.
17, guys. Check him out. He's going to sit right over the middle. Watch the middle.
And the wide out in motion.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Monday.
Stafford on 3rd down. And to the tight end Olsen, right side. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. 4 down.
They'll run it here with Bernard. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. And some changes here as the D-line separates some.
Even.
You ready? You waiting? Hey, I need one.
Check 99.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. He's going to air one out. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Colton Schmidt, 4th-year man from UC Davis, on to punt it away, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field.
Check safety.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right.
Let's go! Red 38!
In motion, the tight end Barnage. They toss to Freeman. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Tight end's Ringo. Tight end's on the Ringo. Tight end's on the Ringo.
Let's go!
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he finds Barnage. He's got it. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Gary Barnage, a Pro Bowler at the age of 30. What do you have, a 1,000-yard season that year, 2014?
Yep.
Got let go by Cleveland recently after the draft. David Njoku drafted out of Miami really to take his place.
When his production last year, it wasn't awful by any means, but it had dipped down to around the 600-yard mark.
Man, Gary Barnage, one of the nicest guys in the league. He had just sent out a message on social media welcoming David Njoku to Cleveland, and the Browns let him go the next day.
Yeah, baby. Watch tight. Watch tight. Tight end right. Tight end right.
Come on, let's go! Red!
To throw on second is Watson. And that'll be incomplete. The tight end, Gary Barnage, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The Panthers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
What?
3 down.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Looking downfield for Jones. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he's going to be marked down deep in Detroit territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
3 down.
Flex round! Flex round! What? 9!
Back to the running game. It's Freeman. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Two tights! Come on, let's go! Red 30!
They'll try to pound it in with Goldman. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead.
Let's go.
It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And Detroit getting set to go now. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy big time play and break.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Setting up the receiver screen here to Thomas. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
4 down, 4 down.
Hey. 4 down.
Set. Blue 80. 40 got. 40 got.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
Pack 54.
6 guys.
Back to the air. Stafford on second down.
Kill.
And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Hey.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Running right, this is Freeman. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this.
Tight end right.
They run, Devontae Freeman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I got him.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Here we go.
On second down, here's Watson. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Alshon Jeffrey, his second touchdown on the season. And the Panthers add on to their lead.
That score was not a game clincher by any stretch of the imagination. But the other team now has to be careful to not let this game begin to slip away.
He's got it, and it's 17-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you don't lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo.
Now a carry for Bernard. Oh, he shifts past him. And some room to roam now.
Run.
Touchdown, Detroit. Giovanni Bernard, his second touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, a full half to be played. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25.